In the city of Portland, Oregon, where tall pine trees lined the streets and the Willamette River flowed quietly through town, lived a woman named Emily Parker, a 33-year-old freelance writer. Emily was thoughtful, gentle, and often seen with a notebook in her hand, scribbling down ideas while sitting in small coffee shops tucked away in the corners of the city. She had been married to Daniel Parker, a 36-year-old architect, for 8 years. Their marriage looked beautiful from the outside. Family dinners, shared laughter, and vacations to the Oregon coast. But deep inside, things weren't as perfect as people imagined. Daniel loved his work, but he often became consumed by it, leaving Emily feeling invisible, unheard, and emotionally neglected. For years, Emily tried to express her needs in small ways. She would leave him notes on the kitchen counter, inviting him for walks in the park, or gently ask him to take a break from his late-night projects. But Daniel rarely noticed. Work seemed to fill every space in his life. One rainy evening in November, Emily sat by the window, her notebook open but her pen unmoving. The soft drizzle tapped against the glass as she whispered to herself, "Why doesn't he hear me?" That night, when Daniel came home late once again, Emily found the courage to speak. "Daniel," she said softly, her voice trembling, "I need you. Not your success, not your deadlines. Just you." But Daniel, tired from work and distracted by emails on his phone, only gave her a quick hug before walking into his study. Emily stood frozen, her words left hanging in the air. She felt her heart ache. He never stopped. He never listened. Days turned into weeks. Emily's pain grew heavier, but so did her resolve. Instead of falling silent, she began to write, not just in her notebook, but stories filled with characters who longed to be heard, just like her. Writing became her therapy, her way of breathing when she felt suffocated. One evening, while attending a local writers' group at a Portland library, Emily met Michael Harris, a kind-hearted literature professor in his early 40s. He was gentle, attentive, and above all, he listened. For the first time in years, Emily felt her voice mattered. Michael encouraged her writing, praised her honesty, and reminded her that her emotions weren't a weakness but a strength. "You have a gift, Emily," he told her. "Don't let anyone make you feel small." Her eyes welled with tears. It wasn't romance she found in Michael. It was recognition. Someone who saw her, heard her, and validated the feelings she had buried for so long. Emily's renewed strength made her bolder at home. She tried once again to reach Daniel, asking him to attend one of her small readings at a cafe. But Daniel brushed it off with, "I've got an important client meeting. Maybe next time." Emily felt her chest tighten. "There's always a next time with you," she whispered. Their marriage began to fracture. Arguments were no longer silent. They were filled with frustration, disappointment, and tears. Emily pleaded with him. "Please stop ignoring what I'm saying. Please listen." But Daniel couldn't see past his own priorities. One afternoon, after another lonely morning staring at her untouched coffee, Emily realized she had a choice. She could keep waiting for someone who might never listen, or she could honor her own voice. She packed her notebook, her laptop, and a few cherished books into a bag and walked out into the crisp Portland air. She wasn't leaving forever, but she needed space. Space to breathe, to write, and to rediscover who she was outside of being someone's forgotten wife. Emily rented a small cabin outside the city near Mount Hood. Surrounded by pine trees and silence, she poured her heart into her writing. Every page she filled became a step toward healing. Weeks passed, and Emily's stories began gaining attention online. A local magazine reached out, asking to publish her essays about love, loneliness, and the courage to find one's voice. Her words resonated with countless readers, especially those who felt unseen in their own relationships. One evening, Daniel showed up at her cabin, unannounced. He looked tired, but his eyes carried something different, remorse. "Emily," he said softly, "I read your stories. I didn't know you felt this way. I should have listened." Tears streamed down Emily's cheeks. For the first time, he wasn't defending himself or making excuses. He was admitting his failure. But Emily, stronger now, replied with calm firmness, "It's not about whether you should have listened. It's about whether you can change. Because I won't go back to being invisible." Daniel nodded, his voice breaking. "I don't want to lose you. Teach me how to hear you again." It wasn't easy. Healing never is. But Daniel began to show up, not just physically, but emotionally. He attended Emily's readings, asked about her writing, and truly listened. Emily, in turn, allowed herself to trust again, slowly, carefully. Their marriage didn't return to what it once was. It became something new. A partnership built not on silence but on words, patience, and respect. Emily's story became more than just hers. It was a reminder that love isn't about grand gestures or perfect lives. It's about listening, truly listening, even when it's hard. And so, in the quiet city of Portland, where the rain still tapped gently on rooftops, Emily Parker's voice was no longer lost. It was strong, clear, and finally heard.